Hey guys, good morning. Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Monday Marathon series. This is episode 30. Who knew we'd get 30 weeks in a row? It's now becoming a bit of an obligation like the storage shed cleanup series, but I enjoy doing it and it keeps coming in every week. A pile of stuff from the charity shop that's destined for e-waste, and I'm going to try and save as much as we can. Got some good gear this week. A couple of nice items. There's a lamp here. There's a little boombox CD player, cassette player. I like these, they sell very well. Hopefully that one works properly. There's an older TV, a big kitchen griller, and a box of assorted things. And this week, I did find something to buy to flip. It was a bit of a challenge this week. There wasn't much going. And all I bought was a little crystal ashtray. Ashtrays still do sell, believe it or not. Not so many people smoke these days. But this is a nice little bowl. It could be used for anything, but it has got the little rests here for the cigarette. It was only $2. I think I could probably get 10 for it. It's certainly at least 8 anyway. So that's the only thing I could find this week. But let's go through what we've got and see what we can save out of the, at this stage, e-waste, hopefully to be resold as going items, most of it. There's a better look at our crystal ashtray. It's not a bad little bowl. It's very heavy. There's no marks on it. It's probably fairly modern, probably not in the 80s or 90s. But it's a nice enough piece. I think we'll sell it. There's no damage. Right, we'll give a quick run through of what we did find. There's a large Breville griller. Let me unlock it and show you what it looks like inside. There we go. It's like a large sandwich press. And it's pretty dirty, but it doesn't appear to be broken. So a bit of effort to clean that one up and we should be able to sell it fairly easily. This TV is a 12-volt TV. So it would probably suit a caravan or something, but it's a fairly old one. It's a Panasonic budget brand. I can't see a date on it. 04 is quite possibly the date. I'll give you a quick look at the details there. So there's no DVD player. It has quite a lot of inputs, but there's a pretty good chance that this will not pick up all the channels here in Australia. We'll probably only get the obscure channels that no one really watches. So that's going to mean it's pretty hard to sell. You could use it as a basic monitor. It does have a HDMI input. So we'll test it out. We might only get $5 to $10 for it, but I will see if it gets all the channels, assuming it works. And I'm not sure if I've even got a power supply for it, so I'll have to check that out. But that's not going to be worth a great deal. But this lamp is nice. It's on a very heavy marble type base, so I think it probably even is marble. The shade itself is in good condition. It just kind of hangs there. Oh, look, someone's actually connected the shade with cable ties. I don't think that's original. It's obviously not the right shade for it, or it's quite possible the supports have broken off. But that's actually not a bad fix. I didn't notice it until then. So, yeah, that's a pretty natty way to fix that. I think we'll probably still be able to sell it all right. Might only be $10. We'll test it to make sure it works. And the last bigger thing on the bench, this is a Triage cassette, CD, radio. Probably 1990s, with still having the cassette. So we'll check that out. Hopefully it all works because that should sell quite well. Looks like the antenna's okay. Very good. Won't even need much of a clean up, that one. Right, I'll get the bigger items off the bench and we'll go through the tub. Okay, what electrical treasures do we have in here? What is this? Sun UV. Oh, it's got LEDs. I assume they're ultraviolet. So is that for some sort of tanning? No, probably more likely, I don't know, fingernails? Maybe it's for drying fingernail polish or something. I'll have to look that one up. It has a little power pack with it. It appears to be in reasonable condition unless it's actually missing something. I don't know if it had feet or whether it connects to something else. I'll check that one out, but of course we'll have to test it. We have a real jumble in here. DSC, I think, was Dick Smith Electronics. What's that, an antenna? It appears to have an antenna cable running from it. And it has a power insert, a receiver antenna. So it's supposed to have a DC supply. It's some sort of booster antenna. I'm not sure if it's indoor for TV or whether it's an FM antenna. It's filthy dirty. I don't expect that's going to be worth much. All right, we have cords. What is that one? Oh, that one goes with headphones. Dynamic stereo headphones. They're Sony ones. Yeah, the foam tends to break down in these. It just doesn't last long. Goes all powdery. This one's not too bad, but it's quite dirty. MDR-P10. I don't expect they're expensive ones. Only has a small plug. I'll check them out and see if they work. But I think we'll struggle to get $5 for those. All right, what do we got here? This is a little timer. Electrical timer. So you can have a lamp come on and off at certain times. It's a mechanical type one rather than a digital. These sell okay. It's easy to check if they work. I'll probably get $5 for that. Is this a controller for something? Out and in. It looks like 12 volts. Maybe it's a winch. I think that's probably a winch controller. Not sure if it'll have a market on its own. Now we have some Christmas lights here, or bud lights. A couple of sets. I've been managing to sell the last few lots of these. I just keep them cheap, $5 a lot. And people do buy them. Easy to see if they work again, so we'll plug them in and give them a go. They're probably low voltage ones with a little transformer. Here we go. They're only, they're 31 volt. But there's a lot of them, so we'll plug them in and see if they work. We should get at least 5 for those. Oh, there's another transformer. Is that a second set? That's 9 volt. Oh, maybe that doesn't even go with them. Okay. Don't know what that one's off. Maybe the power antenna thing. All right, what's this here? Is it a DVD player or something? Someone had $5 on it. It's a DVD, yeah. All right, I've got a customer looking for a DVD player at the moment. I don't suppose it's got a remote with it. I'm not sure. Hopefully it works. And we have a lamp. This is a halogen lamp. Never had a lot of success selling these ones. I guess they've all been replaced with LED technology now. Halogen lamps are not super bright and they're very hot. But I guess we'll plug it in. It seems okay. As long as it works, we could probably try and get $5 for it. A little aluminium torch. These are just a little LED. They're fairly bright little torches, these. It says bike LED light. So I guess we can try some batteries in that. Unless the ones in it are all corroded. What's it? Oh, it's a rechargeable. Where does it plug in? Oh yeah, there's a USB charging socket. So we can try that. Hopefully it charges up. I can find a charger to go with it. All right, we'll test that one. A little sealed packet here of some wiring. Not sure what that suits. Goodness, what is this? Giga Air 20T. Is that something to do with a gaming, some sort of gaming thing? What's this, like a... Oh, it's a little transmitter receiver. Rotate the antenna. Alright, I don't know what that's for. I don't expect it's going to be worth much. It looks quite old. Certainly very dirty. And it's just a standard audio-visual cable. So that might be Ewaste. We'll have to check it out. Some more lights. They look like Christmas lights. And some more lights. Alright, not too keen on those. A little infrared sensor for something. An antenna joiner. And a few more. We had some last week. Some parts out of a kitchen food processor. And I don't actually know where the processor is, but I just seem to keep getting odd parts each week. I didn't end up saving the other ones. I threw them out. These ones aren't proper stainless steel, or at least they aren't non-magnetic stainless, so I'm just going to put them in the shred steel. And if we do get the food processor turn up, well, we're not going to have any parts for it, but I can't save them. I don't have room to keep everything here. That empties the tub, so we better go through and test some things. Don't have a lot of value. It looked better than what it actually is when I first picked it up. Okay, time to make some sense out of this clutter on my bench here. There's some odd chargers in here. This one's a Uniden, and it's got a rather unusual plug on the end of it. And I did look up the number. Apparently it suits a phone system. It's fairly modern. These were selling brand new for about $40, but I didn't see any second-hand ones sell. But I'm not going to write down any value for this. I'll just put this in the shop because I do keep all odd chargers, and I'm starting to get customers come in now looking for chargers for, you know, their own products, whether they've lost a charger in a move or whether one's been chewed by an animal or something. So I'm starting to sell quite a lot of chargers through the shop, $5 each, and that's pretty good. It suits me fine because they cost me nothing. So I'll put that one aside. There was another old one here, and it's actually cracked the case. It's a linear power pack, this one, so it's got a heavier transformer in it. I'm just going to hit that with a hammer and we'll get the transformer out and save some wire. I think it was a 9-volt 300 milliamp, so I've got plenty of those anyway. I'm not sure if it suits something here or not, but that's just going to be scrap. Just like that, a transformer, some wire, and the casing can go into e-waste. Next thing to look at was this cable in a plastic bag we looked at earlier. I thought it might have been like it says Samsung, I thought it might have been a watch charger or something, but it says IR extender cable. Now, I did a quick Google of the number, and I believe it's something to do with extending your remote control capabilities of your telly to control other devices that are connected to your TV. I'm not sure how it works, and I might be slightly wrong with that explanation, but this is brand new. I did find them online for about $13 plus a little bit of postage, so they're not expensive items. I'm just going to leave this one in the bag, put it in the shop for $5, and I will assume that whoever buys it will know what they're buying, because I'm not really sure how it works, but it's something to do with extending your TV remote capabilities, something like that. So anyway, we'll get $5 for it, hopefully. Right, now this is a winch remote control. I think it's a universal one. It may fit various brand winches. I found a few of these online as well. Don't think it's worth a great deal. I saw a couple for $20-something plus postage, so around about $30 new. Let's try and get 10 for it. We'll see how we go. Now we have some Bud Lights to check. We have a lamp here to check. And I had a few other things that this torch. It's a bike LED torch, and it had the USB charger thing under the cap. I charged it up, and it is very bright. I won't point it straight at the camera, but it is a super bright torch. It probably doesn't look much in the camera there, but I wouldn't want to look at it. It really dazzle you. It has a couple of functions. It has a dimmer setting, and it has a flashing. And if we hold it down, it'll go off. That's actually a really handy little torch for me to use just from going from the house to the shed. It'll charge up when it's flat. I did look them up. I think you could buy them. Might have even been through Aldi, and they came with a kit with a rear light for your bicycle as well. And I think they're only about $30. I'm not sure how old it is, but this is a beauty. I'm going to keep this. It's a nice light, easy to use, and very bright LED light. So I would only probably get $5 for it, but I'm going to keep that one. All right, let's plug some things in. We'll try this, what was it, a halogen lamp? Now, I'm only going to put $5 on it, assuming it works and tests safe. So we'll plug it into our appliance tester and see if it works. I mean, sometimes the globes on these blow. In fact, I think that's what's happened, because we do have power and we've got nothing. Not worth trying to get it going, because I'd struggle to get $5 for it anyway. Alright, time to check some Bud Lights. And these will just be $5 per lot if they sell. If they work, sorry. Oh, this one has some little wire hooks. It's obviously been used somewhere. So let's see if this one works. Oh yeah, we have multicoloured flashing. Oh, it's got a button on the transformer, so we can probably control the pattern. Yep, we can get different patterns. Oh, that's pretty good. All right, we should have no troubles getting $5 for that. And you get some bonus wire hooks with it. All right, let's check the next ones. These look like little Christmas lights. And probably a bit older. There's a base. It's missing some of the little globe covers. Doesn't actually plug in. Oh, it's a solar one. All right, there's a fair chance that's not going to work, or if it does work, it won't work very well. Given that some of the light covers are missing as well, that one's going straight into the e-waste, because even if it did work, I'm hard pressed to get any money for that at all. So that's an e-waste one. All right, these ones probably more flashing ones. We got 2 sets here. I think we have, yeah. All right, so hopefully there's a coloured ones again. More chance of selling them, I think. Oh, well, it worked and then it didn't. Oh no, there we go. Now, does that have different settings? Because that's irritating. No, I think it just has the one setting. At least it's easy to separate them when one's on and one's not, because I can see which lights are flashing. Okay, that's got them separate. Right, so we can unplug those ones. They work fine. We'll try for $5 for those. And these ones look like a smaller set. What do these ones do? Oh, yep. Okay. Red and white ones. Again, we don't have any other options. That's all you've got. Okay, fine. We'll try for $5 for each of those. What did we get? 3 sets that work, so hopefully that's $15. Okay, next thing is this Sun UV, and I was correct. It is actually for fingernails, for drying the gel nail polish and that sort of stuff. Believe me, that was a total guess. I fluked that one. I couldn't think what else it could possibly be, unless you wanted a suntan on your neck or something. Now, I looked them up. They're not overly expensive. They're only around about $20, $25 new, I think. They're a bit older now. It is complete, and the charger that it came with has a US style plug. We could twist the pins to try it, but it's a pretty standard 12 volt power supply, so 1.5 amps. So I'm just going to scrap that one, because I get heaps of the 12 volt ones, and I've got one here which is more than enough current. This is 2 amps, and they're a standard size plug, these ones, so we can put this one with it and we'll power it up and see if it works, and see what it, I guess it has a UV light. I assume it's visible UV light. Let's see. There we go, it is too. And I assume it won't hurt your fingers, because that's what it's for. So that works fine. Don't know, you're probably not supposed to look at it. I wonder if it actually will make uranium glass glow, whether it's that sort of UV. I'll just check that. I know you can get different wavelengths of UV light. Did that go off on its own? It must have a timer. Yeah. Here's a little uranium glass pot. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so maybe it will be handy, although you can't carry this around an antique shop to see what uranium glass glows, because you need to plug it in. But, oh, that's amazing. Might be handy in the shop just to test items, because that brings it up brighter than the UV torch I've got. All right, if I was to sell it, I'd put $5 on it. Yeah, it's obviously on a timer. I think we have 30 seconds and 60 seconds. But I might put this under my counter, where I can quickly check if any of our treasures are actually uranium glass. That's amazing. Anyway, that's fine. It works, and I have a power pack for it now. I'll write it in the book at $5, but I may choose to keep it, although it's a bit big and bulky. My torch is more convenient, so we'll possibly sell it. Anyway, it works. I'm happy with that. The charger will scrap. Now, speaking of scrap, this thing, here's the audio-visual cable. And that UV thing went with what? I think it went with this. This is actually a transmitter for, and you're supposed to have a receiver with it. So one little antenna talks to another across your room, and it allows you to plug in your DVD player or whatever audio-visual device you have, and without running a cable across the room to the TV, you can transmit the signal from the transmitter. You'd have to have a receiver at the TV, and that plugs into the TV. Seems a whole lot of technology for why not just run a cable across? And most people have a DVD player under their TV anyway, not over the other side of the room. I don't know, but that's, from what I've read, that's what it does. It's a little transmitter for audio-visual signals. I notice there's a few different channels. There's 4 channels. I didn't have a power supply for it. It does have an infrared sensor, so maybe it can be controlled by a remote as well. Yeah, there you go. That's where the infrared goes in. But I saw a set on eBay, both sets, you know, the transmitter and receiver, in good condition, in good working order, and he couldn't get $20 for it. So I'm not going to try, given that I've only got half the system anyway. So it's going to be scrapped as well. A bit of scrap this week, so we'll just save the wire from the infrared thing, and that can go into e-waste. I don't need this AV cord because I have plenty of them, so I'll chop the plugs off, and it can go in with our data cable, and that deals with all that. Oh yes, and the remote, we don't want, not the remote, the power pack. We don't need a common 12 volt one with a US plug, so that's e-waste. More data cable. So there we go, that's dealt with all that. Now, while we're on the track of e-waste, these Sony headphones are only cheapies. I found a couple of sets for sale on eBay that weren't selling, or if they did sell, they weren't selling for very much at all. And coupled to that fact that these ones, the foam has been squashed, it's decayed. And what that means is when you put this on your head, the ear pads resemble just banging each ear on your head with a couple of planks of wood. There is absolutely no cushioning. I did plug them in, they do work, but it's not very good sound. But yeah, they're very uncomfortable to wear. So we're chopping this wire off as well. Some more data cable, and this will go to e-waste. And the last thing on the bench down this side here that I have checked out, this is an antenna. It's an indoor TV antenna, quite an old one. DSC is Dick Smith Electronics, which was an Australian brand. The cable, I don't have a power supply for the powered antenna anyway, and I don't think that, even if I did, I don't think I would try and sell it. I read a review on this, and most of the reviewers said it's absolutely useless, a piece of junk, and they were very disappointed in their purchase. I think it retailed for around about $50 back in the day. Not exactly sure how old it is, but that's just going straight to e-waste, along with the antenna cord. I don't save these antenna wires, the coax cable, for the copper, because a lot of them actually don't even have copper in them. Sometimes they even have a steel wire inside. Occasionally you can get copper braided ones, but I'm not going to risk ruining a sample of nice copper wire at the yard because I've got some dodgy coax cable in there. So we've got a pile of e-waste back here. We've got a bit of wire. We've got the UV light gadget. All we have to do now is test some of the bigger things. Just made a bit more room on the bench by scrapping out this halogen lamp. I'm not going to try and get the gooseneck out of here because the nuts are so tight and they're awkward to get to, and I don't want it that bad. So they can go to e-waste. There's our fairly chunky transformer that was in the base of it, so they always weigh a fair bit. The reflector is aluminium, a little bit of wire, and some hardware. The globe is certainly blown. The filament's broken, so which means the switch was okay. I'm going to keep the switch too. All right, let's get this out of here and this other e-waste. It's time to test the TV and the DVD player. Okay, we might as well try and use this TV to test this DVD player, assuming the TV works. I found a power supply for it. It's a 12 volt supply, and this delivers 3.5 amps, and the TV says it requires at least 3.3, so should be good to go. So let's power it up. We'll see if we get any life out of the TV first. And we have, I heard a little noise. It looks like we have a light at the bottom. I don't have the remote as I mentioned, but there's a power button on top. See if the screen lights up. Oh yeah, I saw some backlights. There we go. AV. Okay, it's going to work fine. Well, looks like it's going to do something anyway. So let's bring the DVD player into shot. And this is a base brand, DV-L087. Now the TV has a HDMI, but this doesn't. This just has your normal AV. It has component. Now, I know you all saw me cut up an AV cable before, but never fear, I have plenty of them. So we'll power this one up through the AV inputs. Now, given the TV is already set to AV, let's plug the DVD player in to the appliance tester and power that up. Do we have any life? Oh, okay, we do. Excellent. So it's a base DVD. It says load on the panel. Let's hope it hasn't got a dodgy DVD in it like the last one I tested. That was a bit of a shock. I'm glad I wasn't doing a live stream for you guys, because it certainly wasn't for general viewing. There is a DVD in here, so I'll have to edit it out if it's something dodgy. It says it's reading. Nothing's happening though. Error disk. All right, let's eject. Open, close. Okay, there's a disc in here. It looks quite a reasonable, family-friendly Doc Martin. Why didn't it read it? Looks clean enough. Maybe the laser is dirty. Let's try and load it again. Close, read. Doesn't like that disc. Possibly the laser's dirty or it's got another fault. Now let's take that one out and I'll try a different disc. At least the tray is going in and out. This is my my test video here. Hurricane. I've never actually sat down and watched the whole film. Let's see if it reads that one. No, it's got an issue. Now, do I try and fix it? Normally I would say yes. I'll have a go at fixing it. I'm hesitant because I'm short on time at the moment, and it's not a particularly good brand. It's quite an older one, I would suggest. It doesn't have HDMI, and also I don't have a remote for it. I guess maybe I can pull the cover off and have a look, but probably won't do it in this video. We're going a bit long, so I'll decide what to do on that. It's either going to be scrapped out, or we'll have a quick look at just cleaning the laser lens. I guess it's worth trying to do that, isn't it? All right, TV looks like it works fine though, although I should get another DVD player that I know works and make sure the TV has sound and everything. So yeah, we'll do that next. Okay, I've plugged in my LG DVD player, which is one I use for testing things. And I know it works, so we'll try our Doc Martin DVD in here. Oh, it had one in here from last time I tested. That was, oh, let's go with Russell Coit, All Aussie Adventures. Seeing so I'm an Australian channel, we better play something Australian. Make sure the TV works and the sound and everything. All right, it's reading it. It's playing. And we have good sound. Very good. I probably can't play that for very long either, because I guess there's copyright on TV shows as well. Anyway, the TV works, so that's good. We can use it as a monitor. We can use it to play a DVD through. I'll take it inside and just check on the antenna to see if it gets, or what channels it can get, but I would assume it's only going to get the lesser known channels, because all the main channels in Australia have switched over to an MPEG-4 transmission, and the older TVs simply don't get it. And there's a few standard stations still running on the old system, but that will probably stop eventually too. Alright, I'll take this and check the channels, but we know it works as far as, at least we can sell it now as a monitor or something like that. And probably only $10 because it's an older one. I don't have a remote, but that's alright, someone will buy it. Okay, of all the things today, I would like this to work. This is probably the most desirable item to have in good operational condition. I could get $30 to $40 for it, I would think. Usually the cassette players don't work, so I'll power it up. We'll see what's going on here. Turn the volume, it's down mostly. Okay, so it's on radio. We'll put the antenna up, see if we can get something even with the interference in the shed. Sounds like it's going to work fine. Okay, the radio's good. AM as well, it's fine. And the volume's not crackly, which is great. Let's go to CD. Alright, it's quite dusty in there. Well, the laser's very visible. It looks clean enough on the laser. Alright, we'll put a CD in there and see if something happens. Alright, when I was playing the CD the other day, testing that amplifier that I fixed the volume control on, I couldn't play much of it, and I can't all the time I test these because there's copyright issues on YouTube, and if you play copyrighted music for too long, you get a strike against your channel and you don't earn any money off that video. Basically, they don't like it. Someone suggested that I record some royalty-free music onto a disc and then use that when I'm testing, which is a brilliant idea. However, I don't have anything that can record a CD. My laptops don't even take CDs. I don't have a burner set up on any old computers. So if anyone is interested in burning some royalty-free music for me, I would gladly buy the disc off them for testing. So yeah, if anyone's got set up to do that, that would be awesome. I don't need any particularly good music, just something that's maybe a bit rock and rolly or easy listening to. I'll talk about this at the end of the video actually, because I have another idea. Right, it's read 20 tracks. Brilliant. Play. That's the cassette play. There's the play for the CD. Spinning up nicely. I like the clear top on it. Beauty. Let's go to the next track. Okay, that seems to be working fine. Oh yeah. Okay, that's working great. So it's a very saleable item so far. If the cassette works, we should be able to sell it quite easily. So let's stop that. CD is good. Let's go to cassette. So tape. That's the tape. Eject. Now usually the belts have broken on these things. Looks a little dusty in there, not too bad. Not as bad as the CD was. Let's see if the drive spools work. Play. No. No, it must have broken belts again. Happens a lot. Happens all the time. Now it's trying to rewind, but it's easy to stop. There's no fast forward at all. Your rewind's trying, and there's no play. Alright, I'm going to have to take that apart and fix the belts on it. It's worth doing. I probably won't film it because I did one recently. But it's in good order otherwise, and with the cassette fixed, we could probably ask $30 or $40 for it. It's a Triage. I didn't see a model number on it. Oh yeah, PC-D120, portable compact disc system. But even as it is, with the radio and the CD, I'd get $20 for it, but I think I would like to put new belts on it. It's just satisfying to bring their cassette decks back. And a lot of people come into the shop and ask for a cassette player now. So if it's not working, they wouldn't buy it. If it is working, I can charge them $30 or $40. So we'll probably write it down as $20 as it is, and I'll fix that when I have a moment. Right, I've moved the camera up a bit higher for this lamp. We need to give this a test. I'm not going to try and do any repairs to it other than, well, I'm not going to do anything to it because someone's fixed it with cable ties, and I think it's a pretty cute repair and it will sell fine. It's still perfectly safe. There's no compromises of safety with that. It's just a way of hanging the shade. And I don't know if this pole's supposed to be loose either, but it can't really go anywhere. I think it is. It's supposed to swivel. So it's a really solid base. The wiring looks in good order. It's got an LED globe in there. Let's power it up and see if it works. Switch it on. There we go. That is quite a nice lamp. So I gather the shade was supposed to hang like that, and it had just wire struts, and they've either broken out of the shade or something, because I can see little bits of the cloth missing where something was possibly attached to the wire frame. But that's quite a novel way of fixing it with cable ties. I like that. So there we go. The lamp's got a story. What are we going to put on it? Probably just $10. If it wasn't repaired, I'd probably ask $20. But 10 will be fine. Don't have to do anything with this one. It's even clean. So that's good. The last thing to test is this Breville griller or sandwich press. It looks pretty good, and it probably looks good on the camera. I actually did clean this up before while I was watching a video thinking, oh yeah, it'll be fine. And I threw it on the appliance tester. It tested okay. I polished the top a bit with some metal polish just to get the marks off. Come up okay, not as good as I'd hoped. There are some stains around the side. But I noticed once I cleaned this part up, there's some areas of sort of aluminium, like the cast aluminium base metal showing through the Teflon, which isn't ideal. The bottom looks magnificent, but it's starting to corrode through in places. And I was debating whether to keep cleaning it when I just ran my hands down the cord, and it tested safe on my appliance tester, but the cord's been squashed, and it wouldn't surprise me if there's a wire almost broken through there. It has actually cut the outer sheath, so it's not safe. I'm not going to put a new cord on it. So I was probably going to ask about $20 to $30 for this, because I think they're fairly expensive units to buy. And whilst it still actually does work, it's not good enough for me to sell. I'm not going to put another cord on it. And given that the Teflon's starting to come off the top section here, we'll just scrap this one out. So a bit disappointing. It was almost good enough to clean up, and I did spend a bit of time on it, which I probably shouldn't have. Just goes to show, check all the basics first before you start cleaning. So we will scrap this one. I'll just chop the cord off for now, and later on down the track I will scrap it out. I won't in this video. We've got some cast aluminium on the handles as well. The top is stainless, but it won't be, yeah, it's magnetic, so I'm not going to keep that. But both the elements, the top and bottom heating element, are fairly large, and they can go as cast aluminium. If we get the elements out of them, they'll go as clean cast. If not, they'll go as irony. So most of it will actually be off to the scrap metal yard. There won't be a hell of a lot left to go out to Ewaste. So here's our collection for this week, all laid out on the deck for you to see. We have quite a bit of stuff to sell, and I've got myself 2 new projects, as if I needed more projects. We will do the cassette belts on that Triage. I might film it, even though I've done one of those before. All this other stuff can be sold. That charger there I'll just put into my stash at the shop, so I won't actually put that down on the notepad. The TV cleaned up pretty well. It's just a shame it doesn't get the channels, but we'll just put $10 on that. Someone will use it for a monitor or something. We have the 3 lots of Bud Lights, the DVD player there, which I will try and clean the laser. I might even start a video on that just in case it turns into something interesting. The lamp, we have a little bit of e-waste here, and the grill that I said I'll scrap out. Here's Coco, she's not part of the deal. A little bit of scrap, some wire, a few bits and pieces, some transformers, a little bit of hardware as usual. So quite a bit of it's going to go back into circulation. Not very much for e-waste, and a couple more projects for me to keep me busy. And that brings us to the notepad for this week, and we have a potential return from that stuff of $85, although you could kind of take off $20 because that Triage will be a project, and if I can get it fixed, we're probably going to nearly double that price. But anyway, we've got a bit of return. I think I put the price of that fingernail light up a bit higher, but otherwise everything as suggested. The crystal ashtray we'll try for 10 and see how we go there. So yeah, it was when I first picked up this deal, I got the Triage, and I got the big griller, and I thought, oh, there's some money in these things. Unfortunately, the griller didn't turn out to be worthwhile, but yeah, we'll do okay still, and we've saved a lot from going out to the e-waste. Last week's episode has seen a few items sell. The stick blender, both irons sold, and nothing else at this stage, but that's pretty good. And we've got another project there, that Sanyo boombox. I better get onto some of these projects. The week before, part 28 is totally finished. We've even sold that red lidded pan. We got our $10 for that, and everything sold except the gold air heater, which Christine claimed, and she's very happy with it. It's working great. So that's definitely a cross everything off week. Part 27 doesn't have much left. We had a lot of stuff this week. There's only a couple of items left. And 2 items and a monitor, and a fair bit of the cutlery has sold as well. We've got $35 back out of that so far, but still a few things to sell from this week. And all previous weeks have been crossed off, as I mentioned last week, but we have sold a few extra things. The cake server sold, and the Cobb & Co clock, I got my $35 for that. That's sold just yesterday. And going back even further, even though we've ruled these off, some of the things that I'd picked up to flip I hadn't sold. We only have 2 of the hawk scarves left, so we picked up 4 of them for $2 each. We've sold 2 of them at $10 each, only 2 left. So hardly anything left from all these deals. It's awesome. We don't need to go back any further because I think everything has sold. So we'll add today's stuff to the shop next time I'm open, and we'll try and move it on. That'll be this weekend. We normally are open Fridays, but we won't be open Friday this week because Christine's having her surgery, so we'll be down in Melbourne for most of Friday. She will be in hospital for a couple of days, so fingers crossed that all goes well. And I know that you guys who have been following the channel have all been wishing her the best of luck. I'm sure things will be good. Now, something I mentioned during this video before I go, with the royalty-free music, if anyone does want to burn a disc for me of royalty-free music, I'm happy to buy it and pay postage. That would be great. But another step I thought is, if any of you are musicians and have your own music that you are happy for me to play on my channel from time to time, I will certainly reference it and give you a bit of a plug. And assuming your music's good, and I'm sure it would be, it might be a good way to get yourself a little bit of exposure. It gives me some music I can play without worrying about royalties. I guess as long as it's not a cover, it needs to be an original, I think. Not sure how all that works, but if you are a musician, you'll probably know. So yeah, put some comments down or send me an email if that's something you might be able to help with. And then we don't have to worry about panicking after playing about 3 seconds of a song when I'm testing a CD, or maybe even a cassette. Does anyone record on cassettes? I guess, well, I could probably record on a cassette. But anyway, if you've got your own music, let me know. So thanks for watching. Another episode finished. This one turned into a bit of a marathon like they all tend to do. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.